Pisces, Happy New Year's. It's my 7-year celebration, so I'm changing the graphics a little bit in the videos. So thanks for watching if you've been on the line here with me. And if not, welcome in. We're going to start. I have the Isis Oracle deck here. I'm going to get right into things. So, Pisces, for your new year energy frequency change. Here we go with your first Isis card. The Knot of Isis. Okay, energetic stabilization with the buckle of the beloved. Everybody's in a different part of the phase of transitioning into this new energy. I feel like we are trying to stabilize, one, because they told me that. So we're trying to stabilize our energy. Though we're not built to overlook things in the, like the auric and all of that stuff, that we may not be able to finely tune, describe what's going on, but we're sure feeling the repercussions of this energy switch over. So Pisces, you may be a little bit of a roller coaster ride, but I feel like it's deep down inside. On the outside, we may be trying to create a great united front, but on the inside we are feeling tumultuous waves here. Nothing that can overtake us, but the sense they're giving me is that it's very turbulent, but we're keeping kind of like a poker face about it. One, because we can't pinpoint it, and then two, because we may be a little bit in fear of this flux. It's an instability internally where we normally feel. It's almost like our dreamland goes from nightmare to dreamland to nightmare to dreamland. So it's like there's no stable here. We're not either in complete dreamland or complete nightmare, depending on the negative or positive pole of this sign. So what I'm getting here is we're trying to stabilize on all levels. And the universe is trying to help you with that. Though, the, how would you say, like if we're looking at the weather report, you know, it's not conducive to that. The energetic field is not conducive to our balancing things out, but we are trying to nonetheless. Okay, got it out. Okay, so as we move on to the next card here on the Isis deck. Miracle of Isis, miraculous healing of the goddess. Okay, again, everybody is in healing stages here. Where's the Pisces? I feel like internally we're feeling very unstable, though externally we're trying to pull off the illusion that we are very stable. We are not internally. There's a lot of chaotic energy internally, but we just don't know how. It's very deep for one, and we don't know how to deal with it for two. So we're just riding the wave. We're just hanging onto the side of the boat and rocking back and forth with it. We kind of wide-eyed and don't know what to do. So whenever the Miracle of Isis comes in, there's usually something we overcome. And in this sense, you know, if we're using that wave analogy in the middle of the ocean, which is, you know, not the greatest analogy at this time. There's a lot of high tides coming in to coastal waters, and all of this stuff is out of whack. So I feel like the Pisces may be feeling that internally, the fear. And they do pick up of essence waves of humanity, society, people, period, fear. So there may be waves of fear that we are trying to unravel here. Yeah. I'm not really getting that we're healing. I'm getting that we're kind of observing what's going on, and it's very unusual in the Pisces field. This energetic stuff that is coming across is very unusual. So we're just in awe and watching to see when this is going to settle down, or if it's going to settle down, or do I have to do something to settle down? This is what I'm getting. Deep stuff. Okay. So Pisces, the next and final card for the first row is Magic and Ritual, Creating Sacred Practice. Okay. Yeah. Okay, this goes deep. Now, give me moments here to... Whenever I have the magic and ritual card, it means someone wants to over-influence our field. Now, that we may be feeling repercussions of this, and there's also a sense of us wanting to create our world in a different way, and there's repercussions of this. What they're showing me is a wave. Okay, when the little drop of water goes into the ocean, it makes these little ripples. And they're going with what I know here. And if you have a ripple come from the other side, it can create a wave where it destabilizes everything. It cancels everything. So your ripples, okay, so your energy waves are going out, and there's somebody pulling out energy waves on the other side of you, and it's canceling everything. Now, my first instinct is to say that we are trying to manifest the life of our dreams. We're trying to make our wishes and hopes fulfilled. I feel like there's somebody outside of us that is trying to cancel that signal out. Okay? Now this is pretty deep, because this goes to yeah, this is deep. We're going to get into the second row here. The chakras bring us more into our own body here, hopefully. Because I'm getting a lot of external stuff that really could be floated over by the average Joe. And the thing is that the Pisces is trying to do this, but there's a certain part of them that is awakened to this, so they need to deal with this in some kind of way, but I don't know if they're dealing... I don't think they're dealing with it wrong. I think they're in a phase where they're just kind of observing what's going on here. And again, I get a cancellation process. We're sending out waves, and there's a cancellation of this happening. I don't know if this is for the good or the bad. Now, as we move into expansion of the cards, we get into the chakra deck. The Knot of Isis, that encompasses life and afterlife, all the things that affect us here and in the afterlife. I'm getting that as well. I feel like the Pisces is highly aware that what we do here affects us over in another lifetime and in another dimension, and they're aware of all the levels. And in fact, they're keeping their nose clean, so to speak, in this way. But they're still trying to manifest a future that is powerful and where they want to be, right? Now, the card on top of the knot is the Ace of Coins. So that brings us right down to your earth element of root chakra stuff, your ability to earn money, your possessions, your stability, this kind of thing. Now, again, the biggest thing I felt here was that we are not stable. We do not feel stable. And there's awareness of this highly, but we're trying to manifest a way forward is what I'm getting here. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. Now, the next card, I don't even know. Like, I'm getting a lot of energy, but they're not defining it for me. So that tells me that either somebody here is under illusion, we're dealing with the Pisces, or where we're going is an illusion, this kind of thing. Okay, so bear with me here. Deeper than I expected. The Miracle of Isis, Miraculous Healing of the Goddess. Again, we may be doing some healing, but at this time I feel like we are on a pause. Again, there's a few people on pause here. Because there's a lot of, it's like we're sailing through, I don't know, up until this past year, not this year coming, but this past year, we were floating, everything was going in the right way, and now all of a sudden the waves are coming up, we're hanging onto the side of the boat, the water's coming in, fear's bringing, all of this stuff is coming. So there's a sense of building fear, which is not good. From a certain direction. So, Miraculous Healing of the Goddess. What do we get on top of there? The Fool card. Staying in the red energy. The root chakra. New beginning. We're looking for this. We're looking for financial stability. I'm sorry about my cat. Nico, stop. The Ace of Coins is about our financial stability. Offers, the universe wants to give you. I feel like we're too unstable to accept it, is what I'm getting right here. Now, the Fool, overcomes that. There's an energy here of putting our foot in the direction that we want to go. Now, it may not be in line with universal energy, believe it or not. Now, give me a moment here. It all depends on the future card. The Fool is about putting down roots, being stable and solid in where we're at. And the card backing is the Miracles. I feel like there's something yet to happen to make us stable, but it's not here yet. I'm getting that in 2 readings. I just had the Libra. The Libra's going through the same kind of thing. It's like we're on pause for some reason here. Magic and Ritual. Creating sacred practice. I feel like somebody is trying to counter our wishes and dreams and our energy essence of going outward. For the most part, I'm going to deal with the positive pole Pisces. Okay? Positive pole Pisces are trying to set down roots. They're trying to come from life anew, renew themselves. Their energy field is changing, and they are highly aware of it on an emotional level. This is turbulent. It is frightening because in this day and age, we've never had to deal with anything, in any day and age, never had to deal with any of this inner turmoil in such a way. If anybody can handle it, it's usually the Pisces or the Aquarius or the like. But there's an instability here. Okay, on top of the Magic and Ritual, again, there is an energy opposing our wishes and dreams. I don't know if that's the higher energy. We'll get into this. Okay, the clarification card for Magic and Ritual, 5 of Coins. That's interesting. Yeah, I do not feel that this is our energy trying to create a feeling of being left out or a feeling of depletion here. I feel like the Magic and Ritual is coming upon us. This may be part of what we feel now. I don't think we're feeling it 100%. I think what we're feeling is about 5%, just enough to make us notice what is going on here. Now, for those people that are into the energy fields, readers, energy workers, this kind of thing, we're highly aware there's turbulence in the field, okay? We're highly aware that someone is counteracting our highest good. We're well aware of this. We're going to continue. This is all I'm getting for now. It's like they can't give me too much because I get too confused and combobulate, can't put it all together. So they're just giving me step by step here. So hopefully this next roll will figure it out. So as we go on to the Ace of Coins, these are opportunities that have come forth. I do not feel they have come forth for the Pisces. I feel like there's something blocking it. Someone, their energy working toward us. Though we are only feeling it to a diminished degree because of our protection factor and because of our inner vibrational frequency. We're at a certain frequency, it can't hit us full on. We don't deserve that. We don't. That's not something we are resonating with. So it's not hitting us, but we're highly tuned to understand from our instinct that something's going on here. Okay? Now, on top of that Ace of Coins, the House of Night card brings us into complicated. Yeah, don't you know? I get that feeling almost like I can't even comprehend. And I'm a Pisces cusper, so I'm on the cusp of... So I understand this to a high degree. There are some complications in the field, no less. I'm going to simplify this. There is a fate and fortune that is destined to come to us that will not be stopped for those that are opposing that energy. But it can be held up for a time. And the longer it is upheld in this manner, the harsher the punishment for those that are doing so. I needed to say that. Now, as we move on to the Fool energy, again, the Pisces is in the mode of going forward in an energy of another one, clearing the slate. I'm going to start this year fresh and new, not only energetically, even though at this time, and probably into the mid-February's, into the end of February, into March, like spring-ish, or could even be the equinox, right? Up until that time, we're not going to feel solid. We're not going to, I feel like this is when the pause lifts, when that equinox flips, because there's a cutting off point there. And watch for the full moon cycles, or if there's any eclipses. I'm not aware of that, but I will look into that. I'll have to write a note. Because the eclipses can hyper speed up this process. So there's something, someone, something, some energy that is attached to us that is, in a sense, creating havoc. But the allowance of this is only there for karmic reasons. Meaning we're only even sensing this for reasons to keep us abreast of things. Okay, now on top of the Fool, this is, yeah, it's complicated. I don't even know where I'm headed here. Okay, the House of Night card on top of the New Beginning Pisces wants to go into is the focus. We need to stay focused on our future. This arrow is shooting to our past. Now give me a moment what they mean. And yet, the miracle is going in the future. I feel what they're trying to say here is protect from your past, because it may come back to bite you. Again, for negative Pisces, that will accumulate in karma for the self. For positive Pisces, that's create a hell of a lot of distance from your past, because the sense they're giving me is they're showing me like a tank blow up. Somebody here has been armored against any repercussions negatively for their negative behavior. The tank is no longer going to be there for them, is the sense, and we need to guard against our past as we move forward for a little bit until that cutoff hits, which I feel is, yet I'm not an astrologer per se. I just pick up on the feed, and they're giving me like there's either full moon cutoff or like a planetary eclipse or moon or lunar eclipse. I don't know if we have any more of those. Something like that, eclipse could cut this energy off, and by the time of the spring equinox, that will be done. That will be done. That energy will be dealt with. Okay. But focus on it's like we're given that little bit of paranoia just so that we stay alert, so we don't drop our guard, because there's somebody here is highly trying to trip us up. And again, non-deserving of the energy that's being put out. And again, that's karmic for the people or person going in this way. So we're trying to make a new start, and someone's, there's energy here to block it. Now, not good news, sorry, but that's what it is. Magic and ritual, as we move into the future, there's magic and ritual against us. There's magic and ritual where we're wanting to go. We're trying to manifest a future. There's someone trying to break that of us. What do we get for the House of Night card? We got self-worth. Our self-worth determines how far we go. If we fall into the trap of low self-esteem, we will be looping in an energy that will diminish our value. Yeah, so a lot of people working on the self. And I mean, you have to in order to feel, if you don't feel worthy, you're not going to do the work, right? So I'll just leave it at that. There's a lot of counteracting energy for your way forward. Continue to work in your self-worth. Be diligent about things from your past coming forward to you. Do not allow this, is what they're giving me a high warning. Do not allow your past to come. We need to make new connections in the future and let that catapult us forward and farther away from the chaos, because that's where it sits in our past highly. Okay, as we move on here, native spirit cards and power surrender. What do we have to surrender for the Pisces? Non-action. Surrender to non-action. That's interesting. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe. Focus on your own power. Let others come to you. And then they're telling me, be careful of those of the past. So what the hell? Oh, man. Give me a moment. Yeah, I get a lot of connecting to self. I get a lot of meditation could help here. I get a lot of, hopefully you are connected to your energies and following guidance, because this will will really keep you out of any trappings that anyone wants to put you in. They are giving me like this innocent little, almost like a Tinkerbell, you know, and people are batting at it, trying to hit it like a fly, and this is what's going on, and she's just getting tossed about in the field. It's not funny for those that are going through it, but I want to make this warning is be careful about your past. Negative people in your past coming back, because they will drag you under. Okay, that's what's going on now. We have to pass the test to be able to have enough self-worth to go forward to new energy frequency people that will carry us, not carry us, that will help us want to go in that right direction. Now let others come to you. I feel like these are new connections. Allow the new connections to come in so that we refresh this field, and there's no longer any tainted energy coming back to us. So the sense is we're kind of riding a wave, and they're going, yes, just keep hanging on to the side of the boat here. No matter how much water, just keep dishing it out and keep working your way through. The storm, you will overcome the storm. It is energetically impossible for this to continue past that equinox, is the sense they're giving me. That's the absolute last cutoff. In fact, it is not, it has the ability to not hit you at all, but the universe keeping you informed of things in order to keep you, aware and awake to any pitfalls. Because if we completely lose our, how do you say it in words? If we completely release and let down our guard, somebody will take advantage of that. So we don't need to do that. We can't do that. In fact, we should stay diligent and keep our eyes forward. So new connections, new. Anything from the old is there to destruct, is the sense that I'm getting. That's the only way I can word it. So the native spirit card, I read from the book on this one. Pisces, you got an elder. The elder card. Instinctively, yeah, they're going, the sun is setting. If you are meditating and if you are connecting with guides and if you are, gaining signals and synchronicities, listen to those. Those are your shortcut to happiness. Though we feel unsteady at this time, I'm directly channeling. This will not last forever, though it has lasted forever in a lifetime. In our lifetime, it will not continue. In fact, it will be cut extremely harshly from this and any other lifetime that we endure. So, that sunset, it's like the sun is setting on this spiritual struggle any longer. There will be no more of this connection in this way. Somehow, somebody has squeaked into our energy field and tarnished it. The problem here is the karma for these people is high. And they were giving me this before, and what they're saying is there will be no more reincarnation cycles for this pattern of like whatever it is. It can be a spiritual entity, it can be someone in your reality. I get that this spiritual energy can enter people in your spiritual reality and work through them. So like the devil himself, the devil's energy itself is trying to get to you to diminish your worth. So work on your self-worth within your own right, and that will help you until we get to the point of cutoff where the sun sets on all of this energy, and then you will be released to go free, but never to let your guard down, because we have to be aware of these things from now on. But this in its own capacity will have the they really, I was driving the other day and they took me through the whole lifetime of this energy. Now, I don't know if I have time, but I'm going to try try to explain. Because the essence of what they were giving me, and I didn't know that it was going to end up in this Pisces reading. They just said, I was getting a lot of signs and symbols for death and like ends and complete ends and all of these things. And I'm like, is this the universe? Like, I was getting freaked out. Is this the universe? Is this the earth? Is this Canada? Is this the United States? What's going on? Like, what are you dealing with here? So to calm me down, they told me, there is someone here who's being attacked by an energetic field. Not unlike that which is in, let's see, I'm blanking out on his name because I'm not in that way. Like Nazi kind of energy people. Those energetic patterns from lifetimes and lifetimes ago that the wound is still there. There is someone who took an energetic shortcut. They did not reincarnate in the body in natural form. They cheated their way back into the universal realm, which is a no-no to begin with, but they managed to hijack it somehow and got back in. And what they're doing is they're trying to put an end to every beacon of light that is out there that is trying to get through and help us align with our higher selves and advance to our higher worlds. Pisces is part of that wave. They got attacked and they got attached to. And the sense they're giving me is that that person was one of those. They gave me the guy with the mustache. Can't remember his name. Don't need it. Because it no longer exists. There's an energy pattern here of trying to accomplish something from way, way back. And we've been, I don't know if it's cloning. I don't know what it has to do with. But somehow they short-circuited the cycle and they returned quicker than they would have in a natural human process. So that means a life and death cycle. They cut that in half. And they came back before they finished their own life. They come back and they're doing dirtier deeds. Trying to short circuit all of this good stuff rising to the surface. Now, this is energetically hard to even discuss. This is what happened. They've been caught. They've been accumulated. They're showing me like a net, grabbing all of these souls or whatever. And now they've got them hinged above the water. And they're slowly draining the life out of them. This is why they no longer can have the profound effect, though we have had quite the effect in our past for those who this hits for. You'll go, oh yeah, I know. I was in darkness and it wasn't of my own choosing. This was why. Now, this energy is being dealt with karmically. And what I keep getting told is not only will you know where this came from, and others like you, but you will witness the karma happening to that person right in front of your eyes. So that means that karmically you're meant to see this person go down, go under, and their energetic patterns fold. And know that once they are dealt with in such a way, because they will be dealt with on earth, the 3D, then they'll be dealt with in heaven, where you call it 5D, and then they will be dealt with energetically. And then they were trying to explain to me, they're going, you know, there's no such thing as life and death, there's only transformation, and they're saying they will transfer no more. All of their energy will be dissipated and risen to the highest level. So there's no longer a cycle that this soul or this shortcut or whatever they did to accomplish this, to come back and complete a mission they had of destruction, intentively destructing. That mission is null and void. It will be null and void once that process is finished. And they have to go through a lot of stuff all the way. And I won't get into what else they showed me there. But be aware that it will not be something. It will be traumatic, and it will have a shock value very high. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because The sun is setting on the darkness that has held you down for so long, Pisces. That is your reading for the new year. Surrender to non-action at this time, though we feel uneasy with all of this energy. Know that you are protected. As long as you connect with the proper energy field, you are connected. And the time is up on the energies holding you down. And once you are free, they're showing me the butterfly arising, right, from the cocoon, the whole thing. And you can work on your self-esteem during this time, because then it will be a easier process to accept when we're on the other end of this. So the spring will be quite... it will be a traumatic turn in what we may be witness to, but at the same turn, it will completely turn our life around in the most positive way to release us to the most positive energy fields that we have not been allowed to connect to till now, or till then, or till whenever we're allowed. Okay, whoa. That's it. Okay, did I read the Elder card? No. I was just going by instinct to explain that story. It seems like everybody's getting a story along the way here. They're hello. Hi. Hello, I'm doing a reading. Yeah, can you go away and then come back later? Yeah. Sorry. My cat, always. But you know, if I'm not doing a reading, she's not bugging me. That's the way she goes. Okay, Elder. Here we go. I'm going to read from the book. Whew, that's heavy. Card meaning: confidence, entering your power, standing strong. You're a leader, stepping into the light. Wow. Let your truth be heard and felt by others. Make a stand in life. I feel like Pisces may not feel valid enough. That's where the self-worth comes in. If we can't make our stand in life, we can't create our barriers from the highest, right? Our highest, what do you say that? Why am I blanking out on our highest light, our highest being? If we can't make decisions from that, that is our self-worth. We need to build in order to feel valid in that. You carry deep inner wisdom. You are a teacher and a leader in the deepest sense of the words. You are a beacon for others. And didn't I just say that? Beacons? They're just validating, right? Through this. Beacon. Yep. Beacons. You are a beacon, and you've been held under black garbage bags for so long, and now there's poking holes in the garbage bags, and they're letting you out. And we may not be unchained yet. That's coming. But when that comes, look out. And again, we can work on our self-worth in order to make ourselves feel worthy enough to stand up to all of these things. Pisces have a tendency to be the doormats, and we have to upgrade that. We have to doormat no longer. So, your native spirit wants you to know, in native cultures, the elders, the tribal chiefs, the clan leaders are looked to for advice and leadership. When this card chooses you, it's time to step into your leadership role. An elder walks the path, stomps the grass down, and throws the boulders out of the way so that the path is easier for others. Sometimes you might find yourself alone or tired, but you know what you're doing is making a difference in the lives of many. The greatest leaders are those who know how to serve, supporting others to reach their dreams, even if you've been in the background in the past. Right now, it's your turn to step forward and become the light for others. Yeah, I totally can relate. Because, you know, the YouTube thing, right? I got not demonetized, because I never was monetized. I never added commercials to my videos. So you'll always get commercial free on YouTube. But anyway, when I went in there, they're saying we need to look back at how long we've done these readings for. And I went back to the very first reading. It was 7 years ago. I was like, holy shit. 7 years ago. I don't even feel like I've been on it for 7 months. Like, what is going on here? Time warp. So I was like, and they're going, aren't we proud of ourselves for doing, because I have a hard time with routine, and they're like, aren't we proud of ourselves for doing that for that long and staying with it? I said, yeah, I didn't even realize, like I fall off the wagon trying to, because things in your life overwhelm, so you deal with that, and then you come back and you try and, for someone that has no routine, it's hard to get into it, but yeah, I kept it up for that long, and they're like, reward yourself. And I'm like, what am I going to do? And then I was thinking, well, I was going to change the look and feel, and whatever. I just put some balloons up there and just made a note of it. And it's almost like it's more for me than anybody outside of me, because I've never, in the beginning, I had a whole bunch of views, and now I'm lucky if I get 5. But they're going, more is seeing it, or there's an illusion there, or something's wrong with, I don't know if there's something literally wrong with the counter. I don't think so. But there's something about the people that are watching this kind of thing. It may not be many, but it's powerful. These kind of things that are, meant. And the deeper I go, the deeper they go, and away we go, right? And hopefully it reaches more people. And again, there's lots of other readers as well they're advancing souls in that way. So they're wanting to make note of that for you, that you are a leader and a beacon and a light for others. So the journey attached to the elder card. Being an elder and a tribal leader means speaking your truth, even if it's hard, or even if you're afraid. If there's anyone you need to stand up to, this is the time. Being a leader means supporting others, so if there's anyone you need to support or make amends with, this is the time. Now, interesting to me, this may be reflected in the micro-macro thing. A lot of people standing up to people and not allowing them to overwhelm anymore, to overpower. Even if it's hard, or even if you're afraid, and I feel like the Pisces has always been afraid. That's been their default, but it's like they've been afraid from the beginning. So it's not even a great fear to them. It's just something they've always held, and a fear of retaliation. It's like the Pisces is the one cowering in the corner. Not all Pisces, not all positions, but ones that have been highly affected by this energy. They've been cowering in the corner. They don't want to speak up. They don't want to say their truth. They don't want to, and it's not that they don't speak truth, but they don't, for fear of retaliation. This kind of a meekness, I feel like that's going to be overcome here. That is the flipping of energy that happens. It's no longer going to be cowering in the corner. We're going to stand up, we're going to light up, and we're going to go forward, and whoever is in front of us is going to start backing the truck up. Because the Pisces is in the house. And they're going to take charge and start boundary making. That's the thing. Right? And, man, I've got this from so many people. People, frankly, I don't know if they're misinformed or what, but I've learned over time, trying not to sweat the small stuff. I'm learning that. I constantly learn that. What is small stuff? What is big stuff? But when you have scenarios where you have to be nice, you have to be this, I have to be nice to someone who browbeats me. I have to be nice to someone who crosses my boundaries. I have to be nice. No, I don't. Why do I have to be nice? I can set a boundary in grace and then back the hell up. Why does everybody have to be so nice and put up with so much? And it's usually the ones who are the abusers that fight that fact. And that's what I come to realize. It's only the abusers that say, you call yourself a spiritual person if you treat people like that? I said, no, I create boundaries with people that don't treat me proper anymore. I used to go back and let them abuse me, and of course they love that because they were the abusers. I had it wrong, I had it twisted, I was, this kind of thing, and we may have an energy that feels like this, that's going to flip. People that abuse you, you're going to set boundaries, and that's it. They're going to have to follow it. Why? Because we're going to stand guard for that. We're going to stand up for that, and we're going to feel the self-worth in order to do so. I'm worthy of not being stepped on. You're stepping on me? No longer. See ya. Sayonara. Chattahoochee, away we go. Like, I'm out of here. Like, why do we have to be, I mean, nice, yes, not violent, yes, but, how would you call it? Confident and boundary making, and there's a word I'm just skimming over. Assertive. And absolutely, we can be assertive. And this is what I think the Pisces is building up to finally, yeah. Okay, one more story. Sorry, this is lagging on, but in their power. So, you have, okay, when you think of ghosts and whatnot, there was this show I was watching the other day, and it's a show that comes on a certain time of day, and it repeats, and it's, all about these ghost stories and these people that deal with these ghosts and overcome them. I find it interesting to find out human behavior, having to deal with that which is unseen. And there was this child that was kept getting haunted and haunted and haunted. A meek child had not developed their own self-worth, had not felt worthy, da-da-da. They were being spiritually attacked by whatever was coming at them. Again, nobody else was validating. Everybody else was saying it doesn't exist, da-da-da. So this person, this kid, went through all of this for 3 years before they got the power. And I think it came from an inner fear. But it was laid no less. And the moment that that child stood up for their home, their sanity, their house, their spirituality, they overcame, because they created that barrier with that spiritual being that you can no longer attack me, come at me, da-da-da-da, in that way. And then poof, it was gone. But they had to build their power. It took them 3 years of fear, bitterness, resentment, hiding, meekness, all of that, stress and anxiety. Took 3 years of that before they could gain the power and momentum to say, F you, get out of my space. You're invading. And it was I think they had a psychic come in there and back her and validate her. And that little validation that it does exist, and I am not crazy, they went and empowered that child and said, you got to stand up to this thing. We will get rid of it for you, but if it comes back again, you have to stand up for your will and your right to have this place and this, and as soon as it did, it disappeared on them. And I said, you know what? I'll bet you every bloody story is like that. But because we all buy into the haunted theory and we build the fear, and that fear is what they feed off to make more poltergeist activity, it's just a vicious cycle. And it's just that boundary needs to be laid. Some of them are pretty heavy to deal with. And I always wonder, why is it that these things happen to these people? And some of them, it throws them over the deep end. But some of them, it doesn't. And there's life paths and whatnot I'm not going to get into. But I cried when I saw that story, because I felt for that child, because nobody validates you. Nobody sees it going on. Nobody knows. Nobody thinks you are valid. But that one psychic come in, she validated, yes, you have, and you have to stand up. And she did her own ritual of whatever to protect her from that. And it did go down for a while, but it did come back after. And after it came back, that kid stood up because they had the power of that psychic behind them, right? And so then they gave it everything they got. Because what do they got to lose? They're living in hell anyway. And then poof, it was gone. She never had to deal with it after that. The show come back 3 years later, nothing. Nothing since, nothing ever. It's all good. Her life was released. So it's a sense of this kind of thing happening to you. And again, the very last tale of it, I feel like we're released from it already, but the shock value hasn't left. There's a lot of people in psychic shock right now. There's some people in psychic shock that there's this whole other world I got to open up to. I think that was in the Capricorn reading. And then there's Libra, who's in a psychic, somewhat kind of a shock, like a pause. Because, and then here we are with Pisces again. That energy is the same thing. We're on pause, though we're not stunned. Or we're not, but we're just hanging on, watching the show, trying to gain our bearings and waiting for the waves to calm down so we can relax again. So, man, sorry it was longer, but that needed to be said. Needed to be validated. Somebody's going through this. And there may be a few Pisces out there, the beacons. I call them beacons because that's what they call them to me. I'm one, means you have a little bit of insight into the future. We have a little bit of instinct deeper than most people, and we are the first ones to hit the waves, so we got to lead the show for the others. Create those boundaries with those from your past, and uphold those boundaries if they were to come back to you, and keep clear in the future to not accept anything that we've been through already. Pisces, that is your reading for 2024. So I will be in to do love and romance readings. As of the timing of this, I'm not sure. But take care, have fun, and be kind. And I hope this helps you in some way. Surrender to non-action and let others come to you. Happy New Year.